Hey, it's Natalie, and welcome to the Hey, Let's Collab podcast. This is a podcast about how successful creators grow through collaboration. Every episode, we unpack one specific partnership from the first pitch to the final result. This gives you the full blueprint on how to collaborate with confidence and grow your business through aligned connections. Ready to get started? You'll love this week's collaboration. Hey everyone, it's Natalie Bardo, and welcome to the Hey, Let's Collab podcast. This is a podcast about real collaborations for online creators. Every episode, we unpack one specific partnership from the pitch to the results, so you can learn how to collaborate with confidence and grow your business through aligned connections. I would say one of my most heart-aligned connections is Jessie Festa. So thank you, girl. Thank you for being here. I am when I was thinking about this podcast, you were at the top of my list.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I also love collaborating with you. We've done so many different collabs too, so.
Yes, we got lots to talk about. So allow me to formally introduce you to Jessie Festa, who is a creator of the travel blogs Jessie on a Journey and Epicure and Culture. She is also the founder of Travel Blog Prosperity, a membership community for bloggers wanting to grow their traffic, community, and income, as well as NYC Photo Journeys, a New York-based photography company. Her work has appeared in publications like USA Today, CNN, Business Insider, Time Out, and WestJet magazine, and the Hey, Let's Collab podcast. So let's kick things off with, what does collaboration mean to you and to your businesses?
Yeah, so collaboration has actually been one of my favorite ways to grow for a long time. I would say with all of the Google algorithm, wild updates that have been going on for the last few years that are very unpredictable, and honestly, algorithm updates across platforms, I've zeroed in on it even more. And in my own community, it's something I recommend when people are like, I haven't been able to get my stuff to rank. I'm having trouble growing my reach. Collaboration is such a great way to get in front of people right away. And also, even if you're established, you don't have to be a newbie. I've been blogging since 2011, and I still make sure that I try to do it weekly, but at least once per month, I have a full day where I'm doing outreach. I'm reaching out to people, seeing how we can collaborate. So super, super important. If you're not doing it, highly recommend you add that to your workflow.
I love that you mentioned prioritizing outreach. For myself, I'm sure you've gotten this email from me a few times, but I always try to make sure that in January, I have a list of my most important people, and I just send out that email that's Happy New Year. Here's what I have going. Let's get some things booked, because I know that, your schedules get so busy. It's how I start the year. And I feel like now I need to continue to do outreach. So it's so important, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what specific collaboration are we unpacking today? Lay the groundwork. Let us know, a little bit of back history on the specific email we'll be unpacking.
Yeah. So I decided, I do so many different types of collaborations, but I was thinking maybe people are new to this. They're not quite sure what to pitch. So it's kind of a general introduction of, hey, here's who I am, and here are some ideas that we can maybe collaborate on. And I like this template because it's so customizable. It's not meant to be, I don't think any email you send should be a copy-paste sort of thing, especially if you're pitching someone to work together. So it's meant to be a template where, I think in the example I showed you, maybe I was like, hey, want to swap podcast guest slots? If you don't have a podcast, you don't have to pitch that. You could also just pitch yourself to be on their podcast, but you want to think about where the alignment is, but also your own unique goals for your business. Another one I often reach out for is, I have Travel Blog Prosperity, my membership. I love swapping guest workshops with other people that have programs for creators. It makes so much sense. I love, my people get to hear their expertise, their people get to hear my expertise. We can fill in gaps for each other. So you do need to think about your own unique business and what would make sense for you. But it's a pretty good template for kind of any collaboration you might be thinking about and getting a foot in the door with it.
I love that. And it also helps you to know the person who you are, reaching out to. Because, if you're saying like, hey, let's swap podcasts, but like they don't have a podcast, that's a little bit problematic. So it forces you to do a little research, get to know them a little bit so that it can be that personalized connection. Before we get to the actual email, I'm curious to know, how do you decide who to reach out to? Like, what is your process around that? Let us know, especially to those who are listening. Like, I've never reached out to anybody. I don't really know anyone online. I know that, it can be isolating being an online creative. So yeah, let us know what that process is like.
Yeah, I'll try to start with warm leads, like anyone you know personally that you think could be a good fit for what you're trying to pitch. But sometimes, like, you have your really warm leads, like Natalie and I are very warm leads for each other. We know each other. We've like had lunch together. But then you have people that maybe you've done an online summit with, or, like, hey, we have a mutual friend. You have that sort of connection point that you can mention. That's always good. But honestly, it kind of depends what I'm pitching. I'll usually start with the warm leads, but let's say like I have products and services. I'm always also doing outreach to get people into my affiliate program. I'll also look at who is ranking for terms that I might want to rank for, or I'm kind of researching who is an expert in the space. So my products are typically travel blogging related. I have my blogging membership and courses. And then I have also NYC photo tours, photo shoots, and custom itinerary planning. So I'll do searches of like best blogging courses or how to become a full-time travel blogger. And then I'll reach out to those people because I see, okay, they have authority in this space. They're getting seen on this topic. Same with NYC, best NYC tours, best NYC walking tours, things to do in NYC, like who's getting seen for this topic because I would love to partner with them. And I have a lot of luck with those pitches as well. You're just going to want to tailor your opening line. Like instead of saying the connection point, I might dive right into like, I've been following you. And that's also a good thing to do too. If you don't know each other, make sure you're following them. That's a good, start to showing that you're interested in them. But at least make it clear that you've done your research. Like, I'm reaching out because I absolutely love your New York City content. You share a lot of local insights. I'm a local myself and I have this company and I'd love to invite you to be an affiliate. I might even offer them increased commission if it makes sense, since they're someone I really want to get on board. Also, I have like my travel blogging courses. I know a lot of travel bloggers that make great teachers, but then there might be someone that I see has a program on something I really would love to be taught in my membership. Maybe it's something people have been asking about. I'm still going to reach out to them. I'm just going to tailor that intro again to be like, hey, I followed you. I love what you're doing. And I know my people would really want to learn from you. And then I can share my pitch. And again, I like to make it clear that I know what they're doing. I followed them. This isn't a copy and paste template. I really genuinely admire what they're doing.
I love that. So when you, for example, have scouted a new prospective collaborator, you follow them. Do you ever like a bunch of their posts? I assume this is on Instagram. Do you leave any comments so that, when your email does pop into their inbox, they're like, oh yeah, I saw that Jessie had, do you try to also interact or engage?
Yeah. So yes and no. I have a spreadsheet that's sort of my outreach hub, and it has different tabs based on blogging affiliates, NYC affiliates, guest teachers, podcasts. It's all the things that I do regular outreach for. I set aside times, I block times to do this outreach. So I might see, oh, Natalie, she'd be great to reach out to. When I get to that, I'm going to do that. And I would pop your name and email and whatnot into that spreadsheet. And then I would follow you and engage. Sometimes though, when I'm sitting down to do outreach, I might find someone in that process. I don't necessarily like engage and wait. I want to reach out to them, but I will at least give them a follow. So it just depends on like when I learn about this person in my process of doing the outreach. But yeah, at the very least, I like to follow them. And I'll say that in the outreach email, like just followed you on Instagram, love your content, something like that.
That's great. I love that you have a spreadsheet. Love a spreadsheet. I think, especially if you are just starting, it doesn't matter if you're just starting with collaborations or you're seasoned, just being organized. I think there is in many ways a system to collaboration and outreach. And it really reminds me of when I was working in PR. And like, I've gotten so used to pitching people emails because I was pitching like television stations, morning shows, and it's a lot of sending emails and outreach. And unless you have that, like, that organized sheet where it's like emailed on this day, follow up on this day, it has a little bit of details about them. And I think also maybe even building a wish list, wish list of collaborators you would hope to reach out with, whether you feel like you're ready now, or maybe it's like a little bit further down the line type of, dream collaboration. I'm just such a fan of being organized. I love it. Okay, Jessie, shall we?
I want to just add one thing to what you just said. I have at different times in my life, even recently, like there might be someone you really like your wish list that you really want to reach out to and you don't know if you're ready. I would say reach out anyway. Worst comes to worst, you can get on their radar. When I was just starting in blogging, I reached out. I had no business reaching out to this person. I reached out to an editor of a huge publication. At the time, this publication was like one of the #1 travel publications. I had no experience. I had just graduated college. Like I really didn't, or maybe I didn't just, I don't remember when I graduated. But anyway, I didn't have much experience in the travel writing world. Reached out. That editor happened to be in Brooklyn that weekend. And he invited me for drinks and I went. I got like super dressed up, like very professionally. And he was just like, oh, you already have the job. I just like to meet the writers. And I wrote for them for the next few years as like a full-time freelancer, like not full-time 40 weeks salaried, but I got work every single week. And again, that was just like, oh my gosh. I've even, reaching out for my podcast, I've had people that, oh my gosh, like I'd love for this person to be on. Like they're, so up there though, would they do it? And you could be surprised. And on the other end, I've received emails from people who, I could tell they put effort into their email. There is alignment there, but maybe they're much smaller than me. I might say something like, right now, this might not be the best fit, but reach out to me towards the end of the year when you've grown your email list a little bit. So it's still a positive interaction. It's not a no. It's just a, not right now. Or maybe it could even be like, sure, we could collaborate, but maybe like you send 3 emails and I send 1 or something like that. It could be negotiated, but you could always just get on their radar and see what happens.
Okay, I love that. All right, y'all. I think the key takeaway there is just put in the effort, put the work, and like, even if that person is, seems like they're miles ahead of you, I do agree with you where I say like, I respect and acknowledge that someone put in the work and the effort. And yeah, even if it's not it's a mismatch in audience size, there could be alignment or like real connection on some other level, whether it's the topic or this project is amazing and like, I want to be a part of it, That's great. Love that, Jessie. Okay, email time. Let's get into it. Do you want to read it? Like, I feel like that would be great. And yeah, just a reminder, everyone, all of these emails and DMs that we're covering are going to be available in the Collab script. So just head to heyletscollab.com, sign up, get your copy. So you don't have to type notes. Okay, Jessie, let's dive in.
So this was me reaching out to someone that I have a semi-warm relationship to. We are both, like, we've connected before, never met before, but we are both ambassadors for the same brand too. So we have a few different like areas of alignment, so we know of each other.
Hold up. Sorry for the interruption, but I really wanted to tell you about my Collab pitch generator. It's helping creators just like you skip that awkward, staring at a blank page, not knowing what to write phase, and get straight to the crafting personalized, ready-to-send pitches in minutes. It's available at heyletscollab.com for $27. Link in the show notes if you're ready to finally hit send on your pitches.
So I said, but we haven't emailed in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind what I'm about to read is kind of a version of an email that I send often, but again, I just tailor it based on who I'm emailing. I said, we've emailed before, but just to reintroduce myself, I'm Jessie, the founder of the adventurous solo travel blog Jessie on a Journey, as well as Travel Blog Prosperity, a membership community that helps travel bloggers grow and monetize. I wanted to get in touch as I'm looking to collaborate with people who also educate travel creators. A few ideas I had, and then I have some emojis and, I list it, try to make it organized and not like it's a wall of text.
Yeah, it looks
workshop swap. I see that you also run a program for creators. I'd love to swap guest workshops if that might be a fit. My main areas of expertise are profitable content planning, growing and monetizing an email list, and growing through clever collaboration strategies, though I can pitch other ideas as well.
That's great.
Next one, freebie swap. One of my favorite ways to collaborate with other bloggers is by cross-promoting opt-in freebies through newsletter swaps or mentions. If our newsletter focuses and sizes align, I'd love to explore this. Is there a particular freebie you're looking to promote right now? Then podcast guests. I'm not sure if you're recording new episodes for your show, but I'd love to have you on the Profitable Travel Blogger podcast, over 141,000 downloads. I'll be recording my next batch of episodes in late January, early February. And then I have one that just says other ? I'm super open to ideas. Just let me know your thoughts. Happy to do any or all of the above.
Oh.
And now, that's how it ends. But of course, some people, I might just pick one of these topics. Like maybe they don't have a podcast and maybe, the workshop swap doesn't make sense. So maybe I want to just talk about freebies. I might just take that idea and build it out a little bit. But because I'm sharing 3 ideas, I try to keep each one short and sweet. So it's not, again, nobody likes to receive an email that's like a wall of text. I feel like my brain just shuts down and I can't read it. So, yeah. So keep that in mind as you are tailoring this to your own outreach.
I love that. It reminds me of an email I feel like I sent you before, Jessie. I'll be like, Happy New Year, let's collab again. And I'm like, we could do a webinar. You could promote my boot camp. Want to come on my new podcast? And, I love giving people options because, I've mentioned this in previous episodes, but our bandwidth and schedules can be different. There could be, maybe we just have space for a freebie swap. That's just one email, right? Or if we have a open week in our schedule, then yeah, maybe we can do a summit. Maybe we can do a bundle. Maybe we can do, a JV webinar. So I love the options because you're giving your potential collaborator the ability to choose, as opposed to just saying yes or no. I can say yes and, or, yes, maybe, I think it's a different conversation. It's more open, it's like asking an open-ended question as opposed to hey, you want to collab? Which I love. That's the name of this podcast, but I love it. It's such a great email, Jessie.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, and the reason we were just talking about following people on Instagram. Her and I already follow each other. So that was why that email didn't say that.
For sure. My question is, if someone sends you an email like this, or it could be any collaboration, I'm sure you get many of them. What would make you say yes? And what would be your biggest green flags when someone pitches you a collaboration? What do you look for that makes you feel confident, it's a good fit, that it's going to be a good experience for you and for them?
Yeah, it does depend what they're pitching, but I would say just to be blunt, what is the win for me? Something like a workshop swap, I don't care how big your audience is. I care that you know your topic and you can cover something that I can't to my members. So that could even be something like maybe you're a smaller creator, but you have this really amazing like organizational system. You know how to like do spreadsheets and Trello boards and you have that down. I would love to have you. You know, I don't care how big your audience is. However, if we're going to swap guest emails and I send my travel blogger segment of my audience like 4 to 6 emails a month, to do a guest swap, you have to have, you know, about as many subscribers as me. So it kind of depends. If you're asking me to do like to be in your affiliate program, something like that might not matter as much what your audience size is. What are you offering me though in terms of my effort? You know,
Money, Jessie. I'm offering you money.
How much?
And like on the topic of money, as like all the guests so far have been seasoned collaborators with me, I usually open that email with, P.S. Together we've made this many thousands of dollars. Should we keep going? Like that's usually like, you know, not that we're only about money, but at the end of the day, this is a business. And, you know, I think, you know, you should, I think if you're enabling your potential partner to earn income, to me, you're just like, you're operating at pro level. You know, like it's not just, you're not just gonna like give me exposure. You know, like that's fine, but like what else do you got for me?
Yeah, and if it's like with affiliate programs, if it's, again, I said this before, if it's someone you really want to be a part of your program, offer them increased commissions. Like for Travel Blog Prosperity, people get recurring commission. So I'm bolding that when I reach out, like recurring commission. I usually offer X, but I would be happy to bump you up to, you know, whatever the amount is. And keep in mind too, cart order values. Like I always say, 100% of $1 is still $1. Whereas 10% of $100 is $10. So it also matters like what the price of the thing is that you're offering. So just keep in mind like what is going to make this really beneficial for the person that you're reaching out to.
Yeah, and I would say like, Jessie, I'm pretty sure you're one of my highest commission level affiliates for my Pinterest course. And if you guys are listening to this and you're just starting out, like when I first launched my course in 2019, I was completely new. Like I did not have an email list yet. What I had was a class. I had graphics. I had swipe copy. And what I offered was a pretty hefty commission on my course. And so like, that's something that you can do to sweeten the offer, right? Like, especially if it's a new engagement, like I always mention like, and you'll earn affiliate commission, right? You can put the percentage there. And I think it's okay to share the profits of this collaboration, because that's what it is. It's a collaboration. And, you know, valuing that your access to your new partner's audience is worth it, you know? So yeah, like that's just like and like where you'll be in a couple years. Yeah, you can readjust those numbers. Like new affiliates don't get that, but my OGs, you know, that's the rate we agreed on. And, you know, I think you're allowed to just be okay with like, you know, being open to sharing the wealth, because that's what we're all about. At least I want for my partners to feel that way, not to be like, oh, I did all this work and I made $5.
Yeah. And that's like a good point about like the swipe copy and stuff. That's another thing that's, well, kind of 2 points based on what you said. A, make it easy for people. The swipe copy, the graphics, have that ready to go. Have like a nice affiliate hub where people can get things. But also, I just lost my train of thought. Also realize that people that you're reaching out to get loads of different affiliate proposals every single day. So like we're saying, you got to make it so that it stands out and that it seems worth people's time. Something else I'll add, if you're a total newbie and let's say you're on the other side of things where you have something, or not the other side of things, you have something you want promoted, maybe you're doing some affiliate outreach, but you really want to get it out there as soon as possible, consider maybe doing some sponsorships. Things like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that can be great. I do think there is a learning curve with all of that stuff. And then you are giving money to like a big corporation. So I'd also have you consider paying other creators. So something I've done twice already this year is there's another creator. She has a Substack that has a huge following of other travel creators. I have paid her really budget friendly. It's $50 for the ad in her newsletter. Can't say every single newsletter is going to be that price, but reach out if there's some creators that have newsletters, Facebook groups, things like that, and see if there's maybe a place where you can advertise in a way that's going to be like within your budget.
I love that. Yeah. I think sharing our hard earned, like keeping our cash in the creator economy. As opposed to giving money to corporations they've already made billions. They make billions off of people. I love that idea. So great. Okay. On the flip side, we talked about green flags and making it easy. I'm sure you get so many emails where you're like, yeah, that's a no. And I frequently hit the spam button, and I'm sorry, especially if you email me and you don't even have my name. I'm sorry, that's spam. I'm like, get out of here. So, what are some red flags or like things you've seen in email invites that you've either ignored or outright rejected? Let me know.
Yeah. So I think there's levels. I definitely do hit the spam button, but I would say usually those outreach pitches are on like spammy advertisers. It's rarely a creator. Like, I don't want to scare anyone. It's not like,
oh no, not creators. It's like reply no to opt out. I'm like, bro, I never opted in. Like,
yeah. It's not just like the small creator that like spelled my name wrong or something. It's like the dear webmaster, dear sir,
dear
I
team,
get you're called dear sir.
Hi team.
Yeah. Like, and those are usually like people who are then going to say, can you do a sponsored post for $2?
No.
That type of thing. So that's definitely like a Marcus spam, huge red flag. More on the creator side, I would say, or even like, okay, in between that, PR people that pitch me like baby strollers, like dog biscuit brands, like super random things that show you absolutely have no idea who I am. I don't have a baby or a dog. And even if I did, I don't publish about those things. So it's like, if you are not tailoring the pitch to show me you at least like know I'm in travel, like even if maybe you don't know everything I've done, you know that I'm a travel blogger. The third thing I would say, like sometimes, let's say I'll have creators pitch me to do a guest post on my blogs, and I do accept guest posts, and I don't care what your following is for that. It's more, are you a good writer that can deliver like a high quality piece of content that doesn't have spelling errors and stuff like that. But if you don't have like a link to your site and like a couple links to past work so I can see what you've done, to me, that's a bit unprofessional. And I could tell like there's going to be a lot of back and forth. So it's not like I'm like, oh, Marcus spam, but it's going to give me a hesitation of, I probably don't feel like doing this collaboration.
I think
a little unprofessional.
Yeah, like I agree with you. I try to avoid the messy. I avoid the things that have to, like, just have a sense it's gonna be a heavy lift. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think after you receive quite a few emails, you can you almost have like a sixth sense about these things. Speaking of that, have you ever had any, like, what are some collaboration mistakes you've made? You know, whether it's you did a collaboration and you regretted it, or, you know, there was in the early days you made an error. Is there anything that comes to mind as something people should avoid?
I have definitely done, this is rare, I've definitely done collabs where I feel like I did a lot more work than the other person, or the person didn't like fulfill their obligations, which the only thing I could say with that, really, because I feel like I've left things pretty frustrated where maybe I wish I would have said something and didn't, but I think the number one thing I always think is like, is this a bridge I'm willing to burn.
Mm.
So sometimes with that, it can get a little tricky. But I think you kind of have to create your own sort of like standard operating procedures for how you want to do that. I mean, I think one good thing to do is it doesn't have to be a fancy contract with like legalese, but even a doc with some bullet points of like, you're
doing this. I'm doing this.
They're doing that. And what are the deadlines? Just so everyone is super clear on exactly what is expected. I think that can help you avoid a lot. I'm a big fan of a contract. And again, simple, no like jargon that you now have to go hire a lawyer and say, what does this mean? Just like, okay, Jessie's going to create 3 promo emails. Natalie's going to create the webinar, whatever.
We literally have had this document. I feel like we did one for our boot camp and I was like, I will send you this on this day. I will send you this on this day. I think clarity is king. I think it tempers expectations. It ensures that neither person leaves sour. Like I agree with you in the sense that like I've never really actively burnt a bridge, but my version of that is like I just won't. I'll either avoid you forever or just say, nah, I'm busy. I already booked up that week, like, so if you get that from me a lot, it's because I'm avoiding.
I've definitely had that. And you know what? I do look back, like I have one that comes to mind where I created something for their audience. They created something for my audience. And it was like not what was agreed on at all. Like, but you know what? Looking back, I'm like, I wouldn't have changed anything on my ends because if I'm creating something that's people are going to see, I want it to be 100 out of 100, right? Like I want people to be like, wow, I want to like join her email list. I want to connect with her. So it's not like I would go back and be like, well, I'm going to create like a crappy workshop too. So I can only like always put my best foot forward and just know that like that's how I want to present myself to the world anyway. And just like learn from that moving forward. To be honest with that one, I don't think we did have a written document. I think we had chatted on Zoom. So that's my fault, I guess. Like you want to have that clarity.
Yeah, for sure. I just lost my train of thought about things going.
I could give I was thinking before, if you want a good example of, I think we've been talking about like red flags, super green flag. I recently had one of the women in my membership. She's amazing. Shout out to Brittany Verlenich. She pitched an episode for my podcast and she made me saying yes so easy. She, most people will quickly say, I could talk about this, it's because everyone's busy. I get it. She spelled out 3 specific episodes, the outlines, exactly what she could talk about, her qualifications for each topic. It was like, oh my gosh, I have like more than I need to create this and create the script and the questions. So for me, I'm like, wow, this is someone who's organized, who knows their stuff, and who's also excited for the opportunity. So that's
is this McDonald's, Brittany?
It is. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes, she's in my membership, and she also
the fact that I choose the McDonald's. I was like, I could have said podcast. I could have said like social media manager. Yeah, but I was like McDonald's.
I love her new McDonald's content. If anyone listening likes McDonald's, you got to follow Brittany.
Every McDonald's is so different. Like side story, but yeah, it made a point when I was traveling to like turn off my location and go eat at McDonald's, so no one would know where I was. Because every country has like different recipes, it's crazy.
I had no idea about that till I was seeing her reels now of like, this one serves beer. This one has like this, they all have these like special features that I had no idea about.
Right? It's McDonald's tailors to their audience. Right? And you should too when you're pitching people. I love this. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Like, I get it if you're new to collaborations, and even if you're not, you're going to make mistakes, right? Like maybe a link won't work, or you'll put the wrong date in a Google Doc, or, like maybe a graphic won't be perfect. Like we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes sometimes, right? But you'll just learn from them. And like, it's totally fine to make these tiny little errors. I think it's just human, you know?
Oh, yeah. And those to me aren't like red flag mistakes. Like, there are things that are gonna like make someone else's part of the collab harder. Those are red flags. Small, tiny spelling error or something like that, like easy fixes that take 2 seconds, that's not like, a huge deal.
Yeah, for sure. But just letting y'all know. So,
Yeah.
Jessie, we have talked a lot about collaborations, and I thought it would be fun to ask my guests, what type of collaborations are you open to? So if someone is listening to this episode, what should they pitch you?
Ooh, I'm open to a lot of collaborations. Guest posts on my blog, they have to be related to the topics of Jessie on a Journey or Epicurean culture. If you have an engaged email list of either travelers or travel bloggers, love to hear, or not even travel, but like creators, lifestyle creators. If you have a topic that you have an expertise in that would be of interest to travel creators, always open to guest workshops. And then I have affiliate programs for my Travel Blog Prosperity membership and my different blogging courses, as well as NYC Photo Journeys, my NYC Photo Tours, photo shoots, and NYC Travel Planning. But the Travel Blog Prosperity in particular, I mentioned this before, has recurring commission, which means if you refer someone to the program, you will earn commission for every month that they stay a member, which is pretty sweet.
That's me counting my cash. Yes. Love that. Okay, so if you have a pitch for Jessie, you want to guest on her blog, teach in her membership, be on her podcast, you heard all the ways. So be sure to reach out. Jessie, also, do you have something special to share with us that they should definitely go click and get?
Yep. So I have a free travel blogger resource library. There are 75 plus resources in there, all meant to help you grow your traffic, email list, and income. I update this resource library every month at least with new different cheat sheets and trainings, outreach templates. If you're like, how do I reach out to be on a podcast? I got a free template. How do you reach out to brands? All different things. I also share like my own newsletter workflows and my my email welcome sequence and Instagram Reels cheat sheets. Really any piece of becoming a paid creator that you can think of, I probably have something in there. So yeah, and it's totally free. So check that out.
All right. So be sure to click. Is that on your Jessie on a Journey site?
Yeah. So if you click Jessie on a Journey and then you click into blogging, then you can find all my freebies, but the exact URL is, I have it right here, jessieonajourney.com / nope.
/ nope.
That is,
go set that as a pretty link for us.
jessieonajourney.com / free blogging printables.
Alrighty,
So,
you heard it here. But
easy to
of course, the link will also be inside of the show notes over on the site. And remember, if you want to see Jessie's collab script, be sure to head to heyletscollab.com and just click and sign up for all of the collab scripts. So thank you so much, Jessie. It's always so fun to collaborate with you, to chat with you, grab a, lunch anytime we're in the same city. Let me know. So to everyone who's listening, be sure to, click the buttons, subscribe, leave a review, do all the things, and go connect with Jessie. Thanks so much, Jessie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And if anyone needs to reach out, Jessie at jessieonajourney.com. Always happy to answer any questions as well.
Woo! Awesome. All right, y'all, get collaborating. See you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Hey Let's Collab. If you're looking to kickstart your collaboration game and land that dream partnership, check out heyletscollab.com and download the free collab scripts to get started.